If you're watching this video, chances are you have a riding lawnmower where the blades won't disengage once engaged. Now this video is going to cover mowers with a manual PTO where you have the handle where you have to manually push it up to engage the blades. If you don't have the same make or model lawnmower that I do, chances are the tips in this video can still be useful for you. The first thing that you need to do is remove your mower deck from your mower. If you're unsure of how to do that, there's plenty of YouTube videos that will walk you through on your particular model. Once removed, you want to check for grass and other debris that may be blocking the idler pulley arm, which is the piece that moves the pulley to engage the blades. We'll be taking a look at that idler pulley arm throughout this video. On most of these manual PTO lawnmowers, the idler pulley arm is this arm that moves back and forth, that moves that pulley and engages the blade. Now on my arm, two different divots developed. One is here, and this is from the blade brake arm rubbing. And the second one is right there, and that's from the second blade brake arm, which goes to the idler pulleys on my deck. This is pretty common wear and tear from time. Now the second issue that I had was my idler pulley spring, which connects to the deck to the idler pulley arm, broke. Now again, this was probably caused from corrosion and time, and probably from the additional stress put on by those divots. So what I did was I removed the carriage bolt that holds the idler pulley down. Now you can see here, there's a spacer and also a washer that goes under the idler pulley arm. It's helpful when you're taking this apart to take pictures or a video to help remember how these things go back together. Okay, so as you can see here, there's one of the divots from the one brake arm, and there's the other divot from the other brake arm. That's just that last washer that fits in between the plate and the deck. Okay, you can see here, again, here's those two divots, and in the upper left corner is a picture of what the plate looks like when it's new. Now that part's only about $12, and we'll talk about that later. Okay, what I ended up doing off camera was I took an angle grinder and I ground out both those divots to smooth them out. I then greased everything back up, cleaned it up, and as you can tell, I also cleaned up the deck and did some repainting. Now, I did order parts online, and unfortunately there is a back order on some of them. So the other thing that I ended up doing, just so I could mow again, was I was able to fix that spring enough and then get it into a different hole on the deck. Now, I do have a replacement spring coming, and when it comes, I do plan on replacing it. But in doing so, I also realized one of the reasons why that spring probably failed was the original hole, which is the one on the left that it went through, goes directly to under the deck. And since it is going under the deck, all of that grass and different stuff is probably helping it corrode faster. Now, I'm sure that probably is the original spring, so it's probably not that big of a problem. But I may keep the spring on that hole going to that plate just to avoid the spring itself going under the deck. Okay, so as you can see here, now it is working. So it's engaging, and then when I take it back down, the blades are disengaging. This is going to be another shot from under the deck. As you can see, that idler pulley arm goes back and engages, and then it disengages and comes forward. Okay, so like I said earlier, I did order some parts, like the spring. I also ordered some pulleys. Now, I do have a different YouTube video on how to look up parts. If you want to watch a longer, more detailed video, please check that video out. This will be a really quick run through on how to do that. So under the seat, you can find the model number. Now, if you don't know where your model number is, there's plenty of YouTube videos, or you could check Google for that. But our model number is 917272751. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Google, I'm going to type that in, and then I'm going to go to the Sears Parts Direct page in this circumstance. Now, I'm going to find this bar, and I'm going to scroll through until I find the mowing deck section. Okay, now I'm going to hit expand to take a look at the diagram. Now right there in the middle is that idler pulley arm. It's number 55. And also next to it is the idler pulley spring, which in my case is a part that I ordered, and that's 148. Okay, you can kind of see the rest of the diagram if you take this apart and don't remember how to put it back together, or if you need other parts. So we're going to close that, and then on this site here, you have to manually scroll through until you find the parts. So we're going to keep scrolling, and the first part we're going to see is 148, which is the idler pulley spring. Now what I like to do usually is copy paste that part number and then search other sites for pricing. This price in particular is pretty cheap. So this is the one that I went with, but more expensive parts sometimes I will look around. As you can see, this is $275. Make sure you check if these parts are in stock or not. Like I said, that was an issue that I ran into. Okay, the second part that we're talking about is number 55, which is the idler pulley arm. As you can see, it's $11.28. Like I said, this was just a fast run through. If you want a more detailed run through with some other tips, check out my other video. I hope this video was useful for you. As I had said earlier, you don't have to have the same make and model mower as I do. Most of the manual PTO mowers engage in some type of similar way, and I would troubleshoot those three issues. So one would be some type of grass or leaf blockage. Two would be some type of spring that's either disconnected or broken. And three, which is probably also a contributing factor to the spring breaking as well, would be wear on that idler pulley arm or whatever make or model your machine may call that part. If you do have any other questions or tips, please comment on the comment bar. If you did find this video useful, please like and subscribe. This is a newer channel, so we're just trying to develop useful content, for the average person. But thanks for watching our video, and I hope you tune in again. Thanks.